Good morning, friends. Today's our topic is verbal communication. Communication, as all of you know, is basic of human beings skill, which communicates, which imparts ideas, feelings, emotions, thinking, etc. And from time immemorial, it has been used by the human being. And human being is different from other animal species due to this skill and development of this skill. Today, we will focus on verbal communication. Actually, communications can be divided broadly in verbal and non-verbal communications. Verbal communication means communication which is based on language. Language in which we use words. Language which is known to both sender and receiver. If sender and receiver don't know the same language, verbal communication cannot take place. So verbal communication is based totally on language known to both sender and receiver. Now, this verbal communication, the development of verbal communication, its depth, its subtleties, its finer aspects suggests the progress of human being and life. See, you know that animals don't have communication skill, verbal communication skills. They communicate, but they communicate primarily. They communicate their instincts like hunger, like fear, etc. But there is no depth. There is no subtle aspects of communication. They don't communicate their finer aspects. They don't communicate very detailed things. But human being can. So verbal communication depends solely on language, and its development, its progress suggests human being's life and human being itself's development and progress. Now, this verbal communication can be broadly divided into two: oral communication and written communication.
Hello, friends. Human beings have a special privilege to transmit their thoughts, ideas, emotions, passions. In that case, the way we used to communicate with others or even with ourselves cultivates the extreme power in which culture we are living. In oral communication, if we used to talk about, in that we can say that in sender and the receiver, both should understand the same language through which the communication has been done. The important aspect in that is face-to-face conversation. In face-to-face conversation, it will be very easy for the audience, or you can say for the listener, to understand the language, whatever the special tone or even expression by the speaker has been gone through it. In that case, this face-to-face expression can be possible in seminar, or you can say conferences or meetings. In that case, feedback is immediately possible, and by the expression one can easily get the immediate reaction that either the listener has been able to understand or not. Secondly, if we move, that is telephonic conversation. In telephonic conversation, clarity of the sound plays a vital role. If there is a disturbance in sound, it will be difficult for the receiver end to understand it. For example, if the pronunciation done by speaker is not proper, or you can say if the difference of right and right won't be understood by the receiver, there will be a lot of confusion in the mind, and the language which has been focused won't be done properly. Thirdly, we would like to say that public speech. In public speech, a debate on issues or any awareness among the masses also create one type of a applause in the mind of the listener. Even in that case, feedback is not possible, but partly if it has been done, than by applause or clapping of sounds or noise or even silence, through which a sender will be able to understand that the communication has been done properly or not. Fourthly, we would like to move towards PowerPoint presentation. In modern organization, PPT plays a vital role, integral role in communication, through which business organization can pass on their information, their strategies, their projects to the receiver's end, through which they would be able to understand that what the future is and how it is going to happen. Then we would like to move towards meetings. In meetings, it is either between two persons or among masses. It can be from a small group to the shareholders. And in that, very important thing is agenda and is there, through which notes have been made, that one can be able to understand that on which ground it is going to be held. Lastly, we would like to move towards interview. In interview, there are two persons. One is interviewer, who is going to take, either it will be in a as a single person, or it will be in a group of persons. They are going to take an interview to an individual person who is known as interview. They would like to take or understand the capability, ability, adaptability of interviewee, so that they can understand that either that business organization can be done with that interviewee, or there could be any communication in future. In that case, they would like to see only the knowledge and credibility of the interviewee, how he is going to handle in future. Yes.
Yeah. Now, shall we move on written aspect of
Sure.
verbal communication? And verbal communication, usually we think that, in written communication, another part, we think that writing is the basic, but it is connected with reading too. If you write something and it is not being read, the communication doesn't take place. So written communication is connected, very closely connected with the reading. If one person has a tremendous ability of writing, the another should read. Until and unless there is person who can read, writing is useless. Same is true, Diptiben, about oral communication.
Right.
Listening and speaking. Two communications. Here, writing and reading. Now, I think that oral communication is primitive communication in human beings' life. It comes earlier than writing communication.
Yeah, it's a dynamic form of communication. In comparison to the written, it is a static form of communication.
Right. And written communication comes later on.
Yes.
See, at the age of 1 year, 1.5 year, the boys or the girl starts learning how to speak.
Yeah. But they used to understand and express by the oral
Expressed
communication.
by the oral communication. But the written comes after the 5 years age, when the boy or girl goes to school. Same happens in the human being's life or history of human being. See, in the primitive era, human being used to start with oral communication, very instinctively oral communication. And later on, after a long period, long history, written came into existence. And so I think that oral communication is primitive or primary.
Yeah, it's a direct in conversation, and it
Yeah.
is a very spontaneous
Very
and highly
spontaneous.
subjective.
Yeah.
And when you want to convey anything, you should only have to focus on your body language, gestures, whatever you are going to
They are
communicate.
actually additional
That's a phase through which
aspects.
the listener would be able to understand. If the
Understand
pronunciation has
easily.
not been done properly, even though by the body language one can understand.
Yeah. But spoken form focuses on careful listening and speaking skills. Because here, careful listening is very vital part. If you, the person, the audience or listener doesn't have a trained ear, they can't
So
understand.
it plays a psychological effect also,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
psychologically one should be physically and mentally present at
Present,
the
yes, yes.
position where he or she is over there.
Yeah. Now I'll focus only on my aspect, that is
written.
written aspect. Written aspect requires written skill, and in written skill one has to acquire writing, and writing means it is connected with I think I should go on my
Okay, what?
just one
Yeah.
second. In writing and in oral, first of all, the writer or the speaker, they have to encode the message. That is, we can call them sender. And message has been once encoded, it is transmitted through the medium. And once it reaches to the receiver, he decodes it. And once it is decoded, the message has been transmitted or imparted. This is the whole process of oral or written communication. And once it takes place, we say that communication has been completed. Now, written communication is precise. The precision is its one of the great quality, because in oral communication usually the quality, one of the most important quality of oral communication is spontaneity, while in written communication it is precision, because the writer first of all thinks about what he or she has to write. So he takes great care of words, construction of sentences, grammatical aspects, and the content matter. Then, very precisely, not very loosely, very precisely means very briefly, the person writes. The second quality of written communication, its permanency. It is long lasting. Because what happens in oral communication, once the word has been uttered, it goes to air. It is no more there. Once the listener listen, the matter is over. Second, it remains on the remembering or memory of the person. If he or she remembers more, then it is there. Otherwise, it is no more there. But written communication remains on the paper or on board for a longer period, so people can refer it back again and again. In business communication, the permanency or long lasting of the written communication is very important, because you can refer it again and again. Suppose a business letter, you can file it, you can see it again and again, and it can be used later on in for the business purpose. It is more effective. Effective because it is very minutely, with meditation, with thinking, after long discussion, probably after long understanding, it has to be placed on paper. So it is effective. Of course, oral is also effective. You can't say that oral is not effective and written is effective. But sometimes it happens that oral is so spontaneous that the person who speaks out, and then he thinks, oh, instead of this word, suppose I would have used this word, it would have been better. But in written word, what happens? The person first thinks for a long period, and then the word comes on the paper.
But do you think so that in oral communication one should be very should have a concentration and reactable process, that one should be easily able to apologize for the mistake whatsoever has been done?
Yeah.
Whereas in written
Yes,
communication
because
that is not going to happen.
face, it is direct, and so there is a chance to apologize. There is a chance to.
What about the
reaction.
written? It's not going to happen.
Yeah, it
And one
happens,
should
but
be-
it takes long time.
Right.
Once you write later, suppose, and there is wrong wording or there is wrong sentence or there is wrong communication, the person regret, but the apology has to be transmitted in written. Once it reaches, then the person at another end realize, then he replies or he
And
responds. It takes long
in this
process.
oral communication, they will be able to engage the psychology of the listener also. Whereas in
Because
written communication, it's not going to happen.
He has to constantly constantly take into consideration the presence of the another person, because he is present there. In written, what happens? The person is not present. He is somewhere far place.
What
So
about
it-
that subject? What do you think? So that either in a written communication one is to divert from the subject, or it will be possible in oral communication.
In oral communication, it happens that sometimes if the person is not very skillful in communication, oral communication,
Right.
The orator, then what happens? He may go from this point to that point. If he is skillful enough, then he stick to the point. While in written communication, it happens that the person should stick to the point, because whatever comes on paper, he can just check it out and again rewrite it. So the
Okay, right.
process of rewriting takes place in the very first phase. While in oral communication, what happens? There, the person with whom he has to communicate is present there. So suppose once the word is uttered, he realizes with the
Yes,
facial
that-
expression of the receiver, what he will do. Oh, sorry.
And
I
immediate
didn't
feedback
mean,
will be there.
I didn't
that-
mean that, and the
And what-
person also immediately reacts.
Understands it, right.
So now, the uses or types of written communication. Maximum in business communication, letters. In later, written communication is used later for order, reply, inquiry, different kinds of wide range of letters we have. And letters, as you know, in business communication or commercial communication, requires very minute understanding, requires very